Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Gray Say There's a Better Way. This is my Pot Smoker's Bible program where I tell you all of the things that the Gray have taught me directly in our many conversations. My name is Zion. I am a telepath, and I have been groomed pretty much from a toddler to be like the Gray. And I have been taught everything that I need to know in order to fulfill prophecy, this prophecy, the prophecy of the Old Testament of the King James Version of the Bible, which is the Ketuvim of the Torah, or, well, okay, I'm not Jewish, so, but anyway, um, the Gray have been teaching me since, well, since the late 80s. They've been interacting with me since 1979 through prayer. But in the late 80s, 1986 to 88, they began teaching me telepathy. And they have groomed me to be their spokesperson here on Earth. And as part of, in order to attain this position, I had to not only gain the approval of the entire Council of Grey, but I had to also win the approval of the 12 species, the entire 12 species. The Grey is one, they are one of the 12. And after gaining the approval of all 12 species, I was awarded the seat for Zion, which is what they call Earth. And that is why I am called Zion. So, they have taught me many things, but today I have a message to everyone from our mother race, the Neanderthal. Now, when the Grey first came to our planet, the Neanderthal were the most advanced race amongst several. And so they were selected by the Grey um, to eventually be the best candidate for genetic alteration. They met with and communicated with the Neanderthals, and the Neanderthal chose particular people out of their population to be offered as, you might call them guinea pigs, but not really guinea pigs, but um, to be given to the Grey for genetic manipulation. And the result, but the problem was, the Neanderthal were smart enough to know that if they were going to give up a certain segment of their population, which was a few people, they had to have a few, a substantial number to make it work. So, with that many people, they decided that it was best that if they chose the weakest and the most brutish, the most vain, the most greedy, the ones that they really, didn't have the best, the ones they didn't like, pretty much. So the dregs of their society, the ones that were lazy, just the bad people. And so they gave all these worthless piece of crap Neanderthals to the Grey. And the Grey manipulated them with their DNA and made us. But what they, instead of getting, well, okay, they got kind of what they needed, which was intelligent Neanderthals that could do better work, that they could Well, the original intent was for the Grey to integrate themselves into our society and become us through inter. It's like when you're close to a planet, you die, you go to that planet, you're reborn. So they wanted to be reborn into this, uh, onto this world. But in order for them to have an intelligent enough species to be born into, they created us. But our create our creation, who we became, we're still brute Neanderthal. The dregs of society, and they ran amok, so to speak. It was just they decided that as pretty as we were, and that we left much to be desired. But anyway, we were a primitive race with advanced capabilities. That was not a good combination. And when we were all telepaths before, all of us who were hybrids. And when we got intelligent enough, we turned on the Neanderthal because they were inferior, and all the other races. It was not good. It was ugly. We were not good. We were very ugly. We were pretty, but we were ugly. And so the Neanderthal were looking at extinction because they were, it's like the women were being raped, the men were being slaughtered. It was just terrible. So the Grey found a planet that was suitable for the Neanderthal. It wasn't suitable for us, and it wasn't suitable for the Grey, but it was suitable for the Neanderthal. So the Neanderthal agreed, and they moved. They have their own planet in another solar system in this galaxy, and they have a thriving society. They say hello. They're hoping that we're all grown up now and that we can be friends. And they say that they would like a chance to get to know their children because we are their children. In light of circumstances, they're sorry that they picked the dregs of society to make us because it was a bad problem. Good intentions got bad results. So, but because we face a dire situation in the near future, the Grey, our father race, and the Neanderthal, our mother race, have decided that on the condition that the Neanderthal get to do the choosing, that just prior to events getting dire, that they will take a certain number of couples to come to their world and to live amongst them so that we can learn their society, what they've done with their new world, and so that we can get to know our mother race. That way, if anything were to happen here on Earth and the human race here were to be destroyed, there will always be those on the mother's world who will safely see to it that humanity survives. That is one of the advantages of being part of the intergalactic society that we are now entering into. scattered amongst the territories throughout the galaxy are colonies of the 12 species. Um, because we're quarantined, none of our none of our planets are inhabited at this time. But there are beings who could inhabit some of the worlds in our solar system. And their negotiations can be made between the Earthlings and those species to um, become neighbors. And they will migrate to the worlds that suit their purpose, like Venus, Mercury, Saturn, Neptune, Uranus, several moons. It's like there are many species that can inhabit many atmospheres. So, with the permission of the Earth Council, which I will be the head of because I had the chair on the Grey Council, that automatically makes me the head of the chair on the planet. But we're not in a position yet to have the council be chosen. Now, those council members will have to be approved, just as I was approved, just as my counterpart will be approved. So, we will have negotiations when the time is right. So that while we go through, so that after the bombardment, there will be new neighbors if we so choose. By then, we will have gotten to know the 12 species, and we will have been able to decide if we want to be neighbors or not. Because this is a trial kind of thing that we're going through. Now, the guarantee of our species is guaranteed because we've reached a level to gain that justification. So our species will survive into perpetually on various worlds where we will migrate once we have gone through the bombardment, had time to learn the ways of the universal order, and have our social failings, and we have many, rectified. Then, and only then, when our council meets the approval, and then we can move out into the universe and become part of this universal order where different species have different quadrants of the known universe where they inhabit planets, and where everyone it's like the far reaches of space are so far reaching that war is really not logical, not, it's too vast an enterprise. Even at their incredible speeds of travel, it still takes them 3 years to get from their home world to the galactic meetings when they meet for trade, which they did about, what was it, 15 years ago. But, so don't worry about being invaded. We're not going to be invaded. There's a way that society works out there, and well, we'll find out when we get there. So may the Grey watch over us, guide us, protect us, and keep us from all harm. May they teach you right from wrong, and may you be worthy of them. May your thoughts, words, and deeds reflect truth, good, and light, the unicorn way. Find your joy and pursue it, and make that your deal choice when we get to Camp Zion. If you do drugs, stay happy and high. You have every right and reason to. Believe me, I know. I wrote 2 books about it. My name is Zion. Love you too much to say goodbye. So I'm gonna say later now.